Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to Week 18 in the Rise of Obticeo. I started this account January 1st, used the Hyperdrive bundle, and I'm updating the account's progress every week so people can follow along. If you like this content, please remember to hit that like button. Helps me, helps the channel, and it's free and fun to do. With that in mind, let's get over here and see what happened with the account in Week 18. So first off, we got to look at our relic targets. We're working on Sunfac. We do need to get him relicked for fleet placement. We're at risk of getting pushed out of the top 5, so I feel like we need one more strong ship in fleet. It'll carry over to the Malevolence, so we're working on him. We get Moff Gideon to 7 stars. He's for our next project after the clones. We'll be working on some Imperial Troopers, so we go ahead and take him up. Arc Trooper will be the next relic target, so we get a piece on him. We're going to promote Resistance Hero Finn for the 7th star. We're going to go ahead and take him up to level 85. Bring up his skills a little bit. Position him for when he's ready to actually join a team that's functional. We're working on Chief Chirpa. This account may go for gas at some point. That's the outlook with the clones. Maybe go for gas. So we're working on Chief Chirpa a little bit in the background. Iden Versio will take the stars on her. She's got a good Omicron. Maybe an opportunity for us at some point to put an Omicron onto her. Put a star on the Mandalorian as well. Shaak gets her 7th star. Of course, she's the leader for the 501st clones, so we need to get her as the next relic target after Echo. We need a bunch of Cairo to level her up, so we're going to go ahead and commit the Cairo here, and that should still leave us on a good timeline for the Sunfac relic. We'll have to replace some of those Cairos, but should be okay. But we won't take the next level and spend more Cairos. We'll leave that for later. Get the 7th star onto that Han Solo. Get a 7th star onto Boba Fett. Quite a few of the characters now are just either from getting shards out of the game somewhere, or it just works out that here around week 18 we're getting a lot of these upgrades to 7 stars. Stormtrooper will take the 7 stars. Again, we're not really looking for him to do something, but he's got extra shards, so we'll hit 7 stars, put his extra shards over into the shard shop. Same thing with the Clone Sergeant. We're going to go ahead and promote him to 7 stars. Take the overflow on his shards to the shard shop. And of course that means that whenever we get shards for those characters in the future, they're also going to transfer over to the shard shop. I take a look here at Magna Guard. I think we could get some shards out of him too, but he's right at about 7 stars worth, so we're not going to get any shard shop currency out of him at the moment. So we leave that alone. Come back to Grievous. We do intend to build Malevolence as the first capital ship. And we may not get Grievous to 7 stars or Relic by the time we get the Malevolence unlocked, but we do want to be able to get him to gear 11 so we can level up to passive on the ship. So we'll get him going. Admiral Ackbar will go ahead and take to gear 12. And I am using Home 1 as my primary capital ship, so that's the reason why I'm taking Ackbar up in levels. And since we got him built to gear 12, I'm going to go ahead and try this Omicron out. Probably not one of the best Omicrons early game, but I want to experiment with it a little bit. I feel like with a couple rebels like Ezra Bridger, maybe Hera, maybe Chupio, something like that I can build a decent team and maybe get something done with an Omicron. So we're going to try that out, see if we can make it work. We got to remod these guys. We're going to go for Ackbar's mods first. And we'll try to get him sped up a little more offense. We'll go to Ezra Bridger. We'll give him an offense set. And then 3PO and Chewie, I'm looking to do something better with their mods, but my mod inventory, of course, 18 weeks in isn't that great, so I don't get much improvement on him. Ship-wise, we got a bunch of stuff we can do this week. We've got our ship Omegas to spend. And I think overall, spending them on the pilotless ships, each stat that you build boosts all of the ship stats. so we want to get those skills brought up. We've got the Chimera that we're starting. We have 3 capital ships already. We're building this with the idea that we may not have Malevolence by the time we need 4 capital ships. If we do get Malevolence in time, then we'll just look to have this potentially as a cleanup fleet, put it with some of the ships that we get from the hyperdrive bundle, and maybe make a cleanup fleet out of it. Not a very good one, but hey, it's better to have something in the bank. Xanadu Blood, similarly, it's a good ship. We'll need it someday for the Executor journey. It's not part of the Executor journey, of course, but you do need it for the Executor fleet. So if we invest anything in the Xanadu Blood and the IG-2000, it's never going to be wasted resources. We get our Vulture droid to 7 stars now. We're going to finish that out. We're going to take the reinforcement ability up to the 3rd level. So we just got 1 more skill on the Vulture droid, and it'll be a finished ship. So getting close there. And we still have resources left in the bank. We have quite a few shipbuilding materials, and I want to spend them appropriately on good ships. So we go ahead and level up the IG-2000, and then I think we'll take a look at the bomber here. We can skill that up. We've leveled it up, but we haven't brought up all the skills yet. So we're going to go ahead and skill this ship up. It's a good plug-and-play ship. It doesn't really have a home in an Empire fleet yet, but it's something that you can put in a lot of different fleets. And the reinforcement ability is good, and of course, being able to do the area effect and get the fire on everybody is pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get that ship up and running. Then I think we end up looking at the Executrix and just using that as a place to dump a whole bunch of these credits. We're going to want it to 85 someday, so we just go ahead and put it at 85 now. That wraps up the progress on the account for week 18. That puts us at 1.79 million galactic power. We added 50,000. 6 relics, 8 zetas. We got the 2 Omicrons, Qui-Gon and Ackbar. Squad Arena. I'm still switching off between the Shaak T clones and Vader and getting in the top 100. We've got Home 1 Geos getting top 5 in fleet, and the target will be to Relic Sunfac next week in week 19. The energy plan is the Hyena Bomber, the BTLB, Dark Trooper, Queel, and we've picked up Django and Bosk. Of course, the Houndstooth ship is on the Django node, and Bosk is the pilot, so we need both of those to get going. At some point, we'll need that Houndstooth. In fleet, we're farming the Anakin's ETA, the B1, and Nest. Cantina, we're doing signal data. We're farming a little bit of Chief Chirpa when we feel like we can spare the currency. Again, it depends on our Relic project and whether or not we have enough signal data. In mods, still working mostly on speed and defense. Refresh pattern stays the same. Cantina, still working on Cassian's U-Wings, feeding everything else to the Shard Shop. In the guild store, we're buying Carbantes. We're passively getting those Ewoks. And then the First Order SF TIE pilot. That's just because I want to build BB-8. So sometimes when he shows up and I have extra currency, I'll buy him out of the shop and eventually get that to 7 stars for the BB-8 unlock. In the squad, we're buying Prestige. We spent a little Prestige on that the capital ship for the Chimera. And pretty much now we've got to start saving. We got to get to at least 1,400 for when we get that Malevolence unlocked at some point. So we'll start banking up all the Prestige we can every week. We still have to finish out Newt. So every now and then we'll buy some Newt shards and get him finished. In Galactic War Store, we're using everything to feed the Shard Shop now. And in Fleet, Razor Crest, Grievous. I'm also buying Rex's ship passively when it shows up. We're finishing out the last bits of Plo and his ship. And otherwise, we're just working on stuff for journeys that will take someday. I'm not buying any Zeta materials out of there. I'm just using my fleet currency to develop characters and ships right now. Get 1, of course, is saved for gas or whatever I decide to do there. Malevolence is for the Get 2. Shard Shop, we're just buying the Gear 13 purples and golds. As far as the notes for this week go, really not many notes. We're just sending resources to the Relic project first, working on Sunfac. You saw that we've spent the expensive gear on Shaak and the clones, and then we're working a little bit on Imperial Troopers and then the rest of the teams that I'm trying to build up. So we're keeping that priority and working through things. A lot of 7-star upgrades this week, a lot of farms that we finished up and turned around into different farms. That's nice, feels like progress for the account, so that'll wrap it up. Thank you all for watching, I appreciate you. Do join us over on Discord if you haven't been over on Discord. We've got a fantastic community over there. A lot of cool people hanging out, asking questions, answering questions. So hope to see you over there. Also, if we have giveaways or anything like that in the channel, they always happen in Discord. So be a member so you can be aware of when that's going on. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't done that already. And I will see you all in the next Holocron.